Welcome back to Crosswork Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Australia. I tried sending my mate a boomerang in the mail, but it kept getting returned to sender. I went into this movie pretty blind, which allowed me to watch it without any expectations, and it turns out that doing that can really enhance your enjoyment of a movie, regardless of if it's good or bad. It is a little bit stylized, but not really too much, and it's more at a level that just makes it more unique. I've never been to Australia, even though it is on my list, but it did feel very genuine and rooted in the cultures and the lifestyles of the times. It's also historical fiction and is set during World War II and the bombings of Pearl Harbor, which does add a cool but still heavy element to the film. The music is also really cool, and it has possibly my favorite instrumental version of Over the Rainbow that I've ever heard. This also has probably my favorite performance by Hugh Jackman. He was the classic burly outdoors cattle rancher type, but also had a ton of depth, and you could see his heart change and grow as the film progressed. Nicole Kidman's also really great in it, and is really hilarious while being totally serious, and yet still grows immensely as well, playing the very uptight, dainty English woman really perfectly. And I'm not really sure if this was intentional, but this movie really reminds me of Disney's Tarzan, both in terms of the character contrast and the story format. Both characters come from very opposite sides of the spectrum, but they both have to change in order to be together. And the chemistry between these characters is really rich, and the length of the movie allowed for a really good story build. The pacing was also really well done, and the dramatic elements tied in with the editing really well. Hey, did you hear about that new show about six-packs? It's an Aboriginal. Sometimes though, I did get a little bit lost in the exposition and the plot, and the movie does have two very distinct parts, which kind of threw me off at first, but now I find that I actually really like. It kind of allows for you to watch the first half of the movie and be totally content with the ending, without watching the second half, which is much more centered around war and hardship, but still a really good second half of the movie as well. The ending did feel a little bit drawn out though, and I wasn't sure if some of the scene closures were actually the end of the movie. Why was the burglar sad when he couldn't break the safe? Because he needed a cry key. And now the portion for the parents. Like I said, the second half is much more intense than the first, just in terms of violence, since it does revolve around World War II. Other than that, there is some brief strong language, including some dated cultural slurs, as well as a couple sexual scenes and comments. And that's it for this review. If you're interested in more reviews, go ahead and check out my Instagram, where I will periodically post slightly abridged reviews for this and other movies that aren't on this channel. And then for those of you who want to know more about the specific contents of this film, I do have the links for the plugged in and Common Sense Media reviews down below, as well as the Parent's Guide for IMDb. So please subscribe, maybe like the video, hit that bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one. Hasta la vista.